Hello everyone, Mike the MC bringing another self-care video. Looking at the world with some hope. Right, the idea behind this video is the idea that maybe no matter how harsh, how tragic, how terrible our days may be, that when you have a little bit of optimism, a little bit of hope, it can take you forward and through the day, especially when things have been tough, when you've been going against other people that have been trying to tell you that you cannot do it, that you cannot succeed at what it is you're trying to accomplish. And then when you overcome your fear, overcoming the fear of standing in front of the crowd, there's something beautiful to think about. There's something beautiful to think about that. And I think when people are looking at their lives, when they look at other people through social media, looking at other people through the accomplishments they've made, looking at their families, where they stand in society, all these values, right? And you just say, oh, what are the ones that I accomplished after all this time? I look at my life and I'm on the street. I look at my life and I'm not where I'm supposed to be. I see that if I had only went for this job at this time, was with someone special at this time, if I had taken the opportunity, right, the doubts will start to pile up and you think, okay, if I just focus so much on all those negatives throughout my life, of course they're going to take away my happiness and make me feel so miserable and angry when I'm just picking only the bad memories. But then what happens when I pick the good memories to balance with the bad ones? And you come to think, wow, okay, there's a bit of a balance. A bit of a balance that can really set me straight in the right path to where I remember, hey, wait, not everything's so gloom and doom. There's a bit of hope that I can look at. If I'm able to face the camera, if I'm able to face my fears, if I'm able to face my own reflection and say, hey, wait a minute, I see myself in this camera right now. I see myself and I'm not afraid to look at it anymore because I recognize it's reflecting back to me the images of what it sees through me in my very principles, in my very ideas, in what it is that makes me stand true, my values. And so the camera, the vision that looks into your life, you recognize, wow, there's nothing to be afraid about. The people say, oh, okay, well, are you afraid to look at yourself? Do you have some sort of gaze that will look into everything that you've accomplished in your life that you're willing to embrace? Are you willing to look at the very actions you've done and even touch your heart and say, wow, maybe there are some things I wish I could have done better. Maybe if I had done these things, I would not have been so evil. Right. And right, life is hard. Life is difficult. And you come to say, wow, when people change their spots, or when they are now more clear to us than what they were before, when we let go of our gaze of what people appear to us to be as so awesome or so gentle, etc., and then they change to become evil people where they really are taking advantage of us, and you think, man, if I had only been so firm at the beginning. But then you think, well, even if I was firm, that would have set them away anyway at the beginning. So maybe it is good to be firm and then to be on your own for the moment, for the time being. And you think, okay, it's time to be strong in the face of a challenging world. A world that'll want to push us back to where we don't see our own goodness and to where we're always missing something in our life. Not the most beautiful, not the most smartest, not the most courageous, right? And we compare ourselves to ideals and we compare ourselves to images and, right, the negativity is there in society to bring people down. And the negativity, right, you could say will stir up even our young youth in high school, preschool, etc., who are already exposed to so many of the ideologies, the negative values. And where's the joy? Where's the optimism? Because all the youth will see the comparisons already at a young age. And then that's not to say that there's no gloom and doom for everybody in high school, no, and the youth today. But the thing is, as parents, we want to also keep in mind that our actions really do carry weight with what happens to our youth moving forward. And the thing is, when you have a good memory, I can recall good and bad times of my youth growing up, and I'm thinking, okay, if I can look at the good and the bad, and if I can look at myself in the mirror and say, okay, at least in the bad moments I can see all the good that'll help me push forward, to see goodness in a harsh world, to push forward and to say, hey, maybe I don't have to feel so negative because life will have its ups and downs. And maybe the fact is, now that I am looking at the memory from so many years later, right, do I feel the pain now? Now that's interesting. Do I still feel that pain that's never settled? Am I willing to embrace and go fight it back, right? Someone in class yesterday brought up a really good point even to share with you all. I'll bring into the video with my social work degree. I'm almost done with that, by the way, so yay, cheers. But the thing is, in the second to last class before it's all finished and wrapping it up, there was this one classmate that said, hey, the reason why we have all these manuals is because to make money, the professionals, the counselors, the therapists, right, they need to diagnose people who have faced so many challenges. And the thing before all those manuals, people have faced hardships, negative memories, having post-traumatic stress, right? All these negative things already, to where, okay, if these people are already exposed to negative interactions, there's a good chance that we can now diagnose people and make money off the people. And that is a very harsh truth. But if you're an honest counselor and you recognize, hey, I see that my work is meant to help other people, not to destroy them. And the truth is, if I recognize why some ways therapies were made in the first place and how I can get past the corruption, maybe I can bring hope into that person's life and say, hey, you don't have a disorder. You don't have a negative idea about yourself that is really true. You really are beautiful. Because my classmate went to conclude further, the people before who did not even have the diagnoses in the past would succeed in their own lives just as well, right? So if you're a little autistic, okay, fine. Maybe there were some autism, of course, with anybody, but the thing was, people would live and survive and have their families regardless before all the manuals for diagnosing came about. And so her point is, if you recognize, if you can get past just diagnosing to diagnose another person, to choose what they are to you, to really label somebody, you must recognize that people were strong and resilient before all these manuals were coming about. And so if you are a good counselor, wanting to be someone that is reliable to help other people in a world that is so full of negativity, you want to bring that hope. You want to bring that hope as a professional. You want to recognize that you are more than just a nerd with glasses behind the desk, right? You want to recognize that you are given an ability, a skill to recognize issues and situations and to help people find solutions. And the thing is, don't worry about other clients as far as retaining them for finances. If you trust that people will come to you regardless as communities grow, you're going to be okay. You're going to be okay and your business will be fine. You're going to be fine because there is always a need. And so you have to become reliable. And that's where I would say focus more on your personality skills with people. Focus more on what makes you stand out as a good counselor, a good advocate, someone who's willing to talk to people as a person. And you recognize, okay, maybe people don't recognize that, okay, beyond the degree that I also have feelings and thoughts and emotions, but the thing is, people only get to that level when they come to know you and talk to you as a person. So don't be afraid to be true to yourself and to look yourself in the mirror and say, oh, I am a beautiful person. I am so beautiful that I'm happy to talk with you right now in this moment. And so when our world is so harsh, I can bring a hope to you because I want you to know from this channel that you can succeed, that you can grow, that you don't have to face the negative vibes, labels that society wants to put on you or me. And the thing is, when we grow and we recognize that we can live and survive and make it past the negative people in our lives, that is a beautiful reflection. You were made for something beautiful. And as my boss even concluded today, that being firm with your goals, trusting in yourself that you are meant to be here, and that by talking things out, we can come to the resolution. By talking things out, we can overcome the negative memories and the negative pain that we feel. There is pain in this world, but you can overcome it when you have a conversation and are willing to talk with somebody in a time of need. And there is something beautiful to think about that. When you're present for somebody who needs you, when you're present for someone, or even for the person who's wanting to help you, you show up. You show up for that help. You show up because you're ready to change. And I think part of that change comes from not just from within, but your willingness to be with other people in that moment. And you say, hey, wait a minute, there's something good here there's something good that I can pursue if I'm willing to give myself a chance to be in this kind of intervention, to be in a place with others who really need to be in the same boat. And I recognize that my presence will help them as well, other people who are facing the same problem that we are facing now in our society. And we all recognize that by going to the interventions together as groups, by being there and letting go of our negativity of other people, we can love each other. We can love each other and push forward and say, hey, I am so happy to be here with you all today. I am so happy to be here with you all, and to remember, hey, we are making a difference by being here in healing together. And we are going to work and make our efforts stand out. And then once we celebrate and are happy, we can share with other groups that, hey, you can overcome the negative situations you faced. Let's talk this out. Bring about the hope in your life and my life just by being the joy that we are. And you see that being more than a professional, you are so much more. And I think so many professionals today can take a glimpse at this idea and say, hey, right, look beyond your money, worth, your degree, etc., where you are in your company, where you work at in the world, etc., your position. You are meant to be in a place because, hey, maybe if you recognize that you can turn your life into a positive one, you don't have to be the selfish individual that makes all the money, but you recognize, hey, I am in a position of respect that can help other people. But that's just my opinion to you, right? Live your own life according as you best see fit. But I just want you to recognize that if you open your mind to see that there's more to your role than what you believe that all there is, you will find that you have so much more value to give to society, and you don't have to shut down the light of somebody else, and you don't have to take away their hope. You can bring hope to other people and make a difference. And that is what I want you all to recognize in this video. Alright everyone, I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope this one is helpful for you in the day, that you don't give up on yourself. You recognize that you can bring joy to someone's life when you're present, and you can overcome your past if you're willing to change your work for something honorable and something good. The negative things don't have to take you down. You could be strong. The world is okay. And the thing is, when people say that the world is going to go downhill, don't worry. There's always that next second that you are here, that you and I are here together, that we're talking, listening to things. I'm creating more videos. I'm still moving, but things are still happening. So don't give up. Everything's still moving. It'll all be okay. All right, everyone. Hope this video finds you well. Take care. Have a good one.